What's up, traders? Andrew O'Connell here with Pristine Capital, coming at you with yet another market recap video. It is December 7th, 2021. Please go ahead, click the like button on this video. Also subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying this content. Today we're going to talk about the price action in the indices, as we always do. All the madness that ensued. We're going to talk about the crazy short covering. We'll go through some of my trades for the day as well. Before we do that, quick first disclaimer: nothing in this video should be construed as investment advice or recommendations. Please follow your own trading plan, your own risk parameters. Last but certainly not least, do not YOLO your entire account to any one of my trades or anyone's trades for that matter. All right, box scores for today. We had the S&P 500 finishing up 2.04%. We had the NASDAQ QQQ, which was our big winner, finishing up 3.01%. We had the IWM small caps finishing up 2.3%, and we had the Dow Jones finishing up 1.38%. Once again, the Dow Jones is lagging behind. With the Dow Jones, it's basically like, once you realize the Dow Jones is showing some relative strength, it's like too late. By that time, that relative strength is already gone. But yeah, take a look at this. We had volatility down 19.35% for the SPY. Basically, the theme for the day is that volatility just got completely obliterated. And then you can see we had nice breadth as well. 86% advancers in the SPY, 88% in the Qs. IWM had the weakest breadth, only 77% advancers. Yeah, wild day. Take a look at this on our heat map. Yeah, we had Microsoft up, Apple, Google, Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia was up almost 8%. Pretty much all these areas of the market firing on all cylinders. So you have really nice snapback day. I think there were just a ton of investors and traders that were all positioned for, oh my gosh, like the end of the world is here, you know, volatility's here to stay. Like, it's always so funny whenever the VIX is at like a 30 plus, then everyone says like volatility's here to stay. But yeah, you know, really just everyone got on one side of the market, you know, in terms of like de-risking and all that stuff. And now we got, you know, this crazy rally to the upside. Sectors, we had semiconductors up 5.05%. We had biotech, really nice bounce, up 4.98%. The ARC Innovation Fund up 5.43%. This had gotten absolutely hammered. See a really nice strength across the board. And then if you look at our style factors, you can see we had the momentum style factor leading up 3.38%, and we had the high beta not far behind at 2.93%, and growth up 2.94%. So all these very risk on areas of the market all had really nice moves today. Let's take a look at these actual indices. And oh my gosh, so we had talked about this yesterday in the trading room. Basically, like, we have a few pivot levels. We got 4,500, 4,600, and 4,700. It's basically like we have been bouncing between 4,600 and 4,500. And like clockwork, you know, I wasn't even really expecting it to happen this quickly. But once we broke above 4,600, like a magnet, we just went and beelined it right to 4,700 pretty much. You can see we went out at 46.95. So yeah, that 4,700 mark, that's really the next level to the upside. So today, you know, it always fascinates me like how fast the market can really just V-bottom. So we overcame this, you know, 4,600 level. We also got above this monthly value area low, above the 20-day simple moving average. And then we also took out the monthly point of control. At one point today, I was like, are we really about to just go from like not even anywhere near the monthly value where it's just like all the way through it in a single day? It was pretty wild. And so look, now we're basically right back at the all-time highs again. So if you got bearish, you know, on this bounce, at this point you're kind of like kicking yourself, because it's like, man, it took us like, you know, a week to get all the way down to these levels, then just like boom, just like that, you know, we're back pretty much at the market high. So at this point, as I look at this tape, you know, I'm like, I mean, now we have the holiday season coming up. If we could not slip into the abyss over here, you know, when everyone was off sides, like, VIX was going crazy, like all that stuff. I really think the end of the year could end up being pretty smooth. And of course, there's always, what about the inflation data coming out on Friday? What about the Fed meeting on December 15th? Whenever I see these market reactions where the market just gaps and goes, like if you look at SPY, you can actually see the gap. ES includes like the overnight and pre-market session. So yeah, look at SPY. Really nice action today. When we get a nice candle like this off of some really weak action, I tend to just not question it. And I know, okay, somebody out there who probably is playing inside baseball and knows a lot more than me probably knows what's going to happen with that inflation print. They probably have some sort of inclination of this Fed meeting. Like, for whatever reason, we're just getting, risk on behavior, money flowing back into the market. Yeah, so I just try to lean into it, not really question it. And yeah, look at this. We have that 4,700 level above. We made it all the way through this weekly value area as well. So a lot of technical repair being done. And then take a look at the VIX. Look at this, RIP VIX. Look at it. So we just could not break the back of volatility for about a week there. And now we're pretty much out of this elevated volatility regime. I guess you could say we're at like the very bottom end of the range. But yeah, we're pretty much, for all intents and purposes, we're out of this crazy regime. The VIX is still at a 21.89 reading, which that's not like a low reading of the VIX. You can see the VIX can go all the way down to like a 16. That's been normal ever since the pandemic. But yeah, we're not in that like, oh my gosh, like tail risk level of volatility anymore. And my trend model did flip to a +3 early on in the session today. And then if we look at this VVIX, you can also see, just absolute crush. This is the volatility of volatility. So I'm even more excited to see this get crushed. So yeah, definitely a message is being sent by the market. And that message is buy stocks. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But I mean, to me, I think this is pretty clear. Like, the powers that be have decided. NASDAQ up 0.3%. And we're almost through this monthly value area. And then the Russell 2000 up 0.35%. And we closed above that 200-day moving average. Russell really does not look that great. It's not showing any relative strength. Definitely want to stay away here. Let's see. And then we have the Dow Jones up 0.19%. Yeah, this is on like the after hours. Yeah, Dow Jones looks pretty solid. Dow Jones reclaimed this 20-day moving average, reclaimed the monthly value area. So yeah, I think the Dow Jones and the Russell, like, I'm not even going to bother. I'm really more concerned with the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 because it seems like, so even though there's a lot of repair work being done technically, there's definitely rotation. And the rotation is going to really like these mega cap, highly liquid names like Apple that have really nice liquidity, and they're also trading at very low valuations. So yeah, Apple definitely a rising, shining star today. And then Nvidia up almost 8%, basically trading right back to the high. So pretty crazy action. All right, let's take a look. Check out some of my trades for today. So I got long Jumia common shares for $12.74. They had a nice earnings report. I just went with this one, very early on in the morning. And Jumia ended up closing up over 20%. So yeah, really nice move from Jumia. Tagged this monthly value area low and kind of failed at that level. So we'll see what happens. Jumia, this is not really for me like some grandiose, oh my gosh, I'm going to swing it up to 63. It's more so just like, hey, this stock moves pretty fast. Let me trade it. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Right now, sitting on a pretty sizable gain in Jumia. I like the way this one had just a really nice advance, and it's really just consolidated throughout the remainder of the day. So yeah, Jumia, I think this still looks good. Nice gain for Jumia. And then let's take a look here. I closed out my SPY diagonal call spread. I went to the 465 strike. I put this on yesterday, and I had no idea that we were going to get to the 465 strike, that quickly. In the morning, the market was really just like a bat out of hell. It was just like ripped up to this VPOC. Usually when you get to virgin point of controls, a lot of times sellers come out, you get a dip, whatever. Here it was like we just kept tearing right through. We just went sideways. So I was like, let me get out of this diagonal. But this one, if the S&P 500 had gotten to my 465 level, if it took a little bit more time, this one would have been better, but still had a decent winner in it. I got long a Shopify call spread out to December 17th. Check this out. Up 6.47% today, looking pretty good. And this one stopped just below this monthly point of control. So I'll want to see if the market remains, bullish. I want to see this get above that monthly point of control, realistically tomorrow probably. So yeah, Shopify looking pretty good. Then I closed out. These are some straggler positions that are basically turned into zeros from before the volatility really broke out. I had Hut Mining 12 by 14 call spread. This was a roll of a prior trade. And I also had some Hut Mining December 17th, 13 calls. These really got vaporized because Hut 8 Mining, this group was very strong and it really got taken down in this sell-off. It just went poof. So yeah, with Hut 8 Mining, I was playing this one to the upside all throughout this uptrend, and I think the moral of the story for me, really like my learning lesson, is when something is kind of losing its trend, I was trying to get more aggressively long when this had been showing some big red candles, and really just like basically I was like catching the falling knife. So I just want to make sure in 2022 I don't really do that, because I had an incredible winner in Hut 8 Mining where I had like a 200% gain. I basically gave that back with these two trades. So yeah, definitely want to just work on that in 2022. If the trend just kind of breaks, you just got to give it up. You can't just try to stick with it. So let's see. Yeah, those are my trades for today. Let's take a look at our options order flow. Let's take a look at our races, our combined flows. Let's see, not a lot of Tesla activity today. We had 2.5 billion of Tesla flow. Yeah, really not that much in that name. Amazon, SPY, Apple, usual suspect. Alibaba, Square, IWM. Yeah, a lot of our usual offenders here. Let's pull up. Alibaba bounced. Wow, only 1.57%. Not really that crazy. Let's take a look at Square. This name looked like it was due for a bounce. Yeah, it finally got a little bounce, but still doesn't look good. Up 5.45%. Let's take a look at our matrix. SPX. A lot of calls going up in relation to puts for the first day in quite a while, which is good. Yeah, not really aggressive strikes. This one's at the 4,800 strike for December 16th. Can you imagine if we hit SPX 4,800 by OPEX? That would be nuts. 46.25, 46.75. Yeah, so look at this, 4,900 strike calls going out to March. Let's see, Amazon, mixed bag for Amazon. Let's actually see how Amazon closed. Amazon, not really the best candle. Qs, some calls going up 337, 365. Now to June, 361. But yeah, we have a fair amount of puts as well. Let's see if anything really sticks out. Let's see AMD. Some big orders. Let's see what AMD did today. I believe AMD had a really good showing as well. AMD up 4.16%. Wasn't the top performer. Micron. This one looked very strong intraday. Let's see Micron. Wow, this one gave back a lot of the gains. Only finished up 4.1%. For whatever reason, the stock does not like this 87 level. It just rejects off of it every time. I would imagine this one, I'm actually going to be watching this one for a wick play tomorrow. This one, I think you can only knock at this level so many times before it eventually breaks to the upside. And that's where we can get a move to 95. So yeah, Micron looking pretty solid. And then booking, big call orders in booking for December 23rd. It's very short term. Booking kind of an ugly candle. So to be honest, like, it really seems like sticking with these liquid leaders like Shopify, like Google. Let's see how Google did today. Yeah, Google, really nice candle. Closed literally right on the highs. Microsoft, very similar. So yeah, it just seems like those FANG type exposures are really what's going to work, because I get the feeling a lot of these fund managers, they've gotten whipsawed so much. It's like, oh my gosh, now I need to get back into the market so I can make up some performance. And to be honest, like, I really think that into the year end, even though we know the Fed's going to be tapering faster, even though we know there's going to be rate hikes coming, even though we know this is all going to go horribly wrong in 2022. You know, I just have this feeling into year end, investment managers are like, I just want to get my risk on. I just want to get into some highly liquid names and just participate, you know, into year end. And then I think it's like, you know, in 2022, you know, we'll deal with that later. So we'll have to see. But yeah, the volatility really sent a message today. Let's take a look real quick and see if this squeeze metrics is updated before we drop off. Looks like it still might need more time. Usually it updates around 6 o'clock, but I'm curious to see how this came in for today's session. With that being said, that about does it for this market recap video. Hope you all had an awesome trading session. I'll see you all tomorrow.